In the deep folds of Imo State, where the earth wore the color of fire and the wind often carried the whispers of ancestors, there lay a humble village called Umuleki. In this village, tradition was everything. Culture was not a thing of joy and pride alone. It was a thing of chains, of responsibilities carved in silence and silence painted in obligation. Among the traditions that held this village hostage, one stood tallest. The firstborn must carry the family. No questions. No complaints. It didn't matter whether the firstborn had money or strength or peace. They must sacrifice because they were born first. And that was the beginning of Nnenna's silent suffering. Nnenna was born under the shriek of the rain. Her birth was both celebrated and feared. The midwife, Mama Nkechi, wrapped her in white and whispered, "This one will carry a heavy crown." No one understood what she meant. Not then. She was the first of 7 children. Her father, Chief Uche, was once the pride of the village, a rich palm oil merchant who boasted of houses in Aba and a booming shop in Onitsha. Her mother, Olama, was a soft-spoken woman, strong in silence, always dressed in plain wrappers and humility. The first few years of Nnenna's life were beautiful. They were full of dancing feet, laughter under moonlight, and nights when her father lifted her high and said, "My first fruit, my legacy." But legacy has weight. And in Umuleki, weight is rarely shared. When Nnenna turned 11, disaster struck. There was a fire. A political riot in Onitsha turned violent. Her father's shop was looted, then burned to ashes. Overnight, Chief Uche became a shell of the man he once was. He drank more than he prayed. He yelled more than he spoke. As the family fell apart, so did the man who once stood tall. Nnenna watched all this with the quiet awareness of a child forced to grow too quickly. Her mother began hawking vegetables, but it wasn't enough. School fees piled up, meals became thinner, and then came the first demand. "Stop school for now," her father said, his breath soaked in palm wine. "Your younger ones need to eat. You're the eldest. You must understand." Nnenna nodded, and so began the first sacrifice. By the age of 15, Nnenna had become a second mother. She boiled water for baths. She sewed torn uniforms. She nursed her youngest sister during malaria episodes. She attended PTA meetings when her mother was too weak. She was a girl, but they treated her like a woman. She was a child, but she bore adult decisions. One night, she overheard her parents arguing. "Olama, she's still a girl. She deserves to go back to school." Chief Uche, "And who will feed us? Is it you with your garden leaves?" Nnenna lay quietly, tears soaking into the mat beneath her. Years later, Nnenna passed her WAC in flying colors. She was offered admission to study medicine at UNN. For the first time, she allowed herself to dream. She imagined walking across a campus in white lab coats. She imagined saving lives. She imagined healing not just others but healing herself. But her father's reaction was as cold as a river stone. "You want to chase vanity when your siblings can't even go to school?" He slapped the letter out of her hand. "Be useful, not selfish." Her mother wept, but no one said anything. The tradition had spoken. Nnenna tore the letter, burned it, and with it, she buried her dreams. At 21, Nnenna moved to Owerri to work as a pharmacy assistant. The pay was tiny, the hours long, but she sent half of her earnings home every month. She lived in a one-room apartment behind a tailor's shop. The roof leaked during the rains. The walls were cracked. Her mat was thin. But she smiled because her siblings were still in school. Her brother Obinna often called to say, "You're the best sister in the world." Her sister Chioma would text, "God bless you, Auntie." But their blessings didn't pay rent. Their gratitude didn't heal ulcers. And still she gave. One day at her workplace, she met Tund, a pharmaceutical representative from a cure. He had a quiet laugh and eyes that saw through her pain. He asked her to dinner. She declined twice. The third time she said yes. Their love grew like forbidden fruit, beautiful but not accepted. When he proposed marriage, she took him home. Her parents rejected him. "He's Yoruba," her father said. "He might stop you from sending money," her mother added. Nnenna begged, cried, pleaded, but the answer remained no. "Your duty is here," they said. "Don't be a disgrace." So she broke her own heart. Again. At 32, Nnenna was running on empty. Her savings were gone. Her clothes torn at the edges. Her stomach ulcerated from years of skipping meals. Still the calls kept coming. Obinna was arrested for cultism. Chioma got pregnant and was kicked out of her husband's home. Her father needed funds for a chieftaincy title. Her cousin's wedding. Auntie's funeral. Every crisis. Every shame. Every family disgrace, she must fix it. "Because you are the firstborn," they always said. "If you don't help, who will?" One rainy night, Nnenna collapsed. Right there in the pharmacy. Blood in her vomit. Her breath shallow. In the hospital, the doctor shook his head. "She's anemic. Starved. Severely stressed. This woman has been killing herself slowly for years." For 2 weeks, she lay in silence. For 2 weeks, no one visited. No family. No parent. No sibling. On the 15th day, her boss, Madame Clara, came and cried beside her bed. "You're too good, Nnenna. Too kind." But even Jesus rested. That night, something shifted in her. She began to write. Nnenna wrote her story. All of it. From the torn admission letter to her rejected love, to her countless sacrifices. She titled it, "The Curse of the Firstborn." She posted it anonymously on Facebook. It went viral. Women across Nigeria commented, "This is my life. My family uses me like an ATM. Why do we glorify suffering as tradition?" Radio stations discussed it. Pastors preached on it. NGOs quoted it. Back in Umuleki, the elders were furious. Who is insulting our culture? But the youths, they nodded in quiet understanding. When she was discharged, Nnenna didn't return to the leaky room. She packed her bag and accepted a job offer in Enugu, a higher position, a fresh start. Her family protested. "Who will carry us now?" She replied, "All of you have legs. Walk." Her mother cried, not in guilt, but in pride. "You've carried us long enough, my daughter. Live your life." She finally smiled. 2 years later, the Umuleki Women's Union invited her to speak. She stood on a stage built with community hands. Hundreds gathered. She took the mic. "Being born first should be a blessing, not a burden," she began. "I love my family. But I was never created to be their sacrifice." The crowd was silent. Then they clapped. Some wept. And for the first time Nnenna felt seen. Nnenna later married a gentle widower who had 2 daughters. She raised them with love, not tradition. She opened a foundation called First Light, helping firstborn girls get education without guilt. And when people asked her how she survived it all, she'd smile and say, "I stopped believing that suffering is noble. I started believing that I deserve joy." In Umuleki, the tide began to turn. Slowly, other firstborns began to say, "No." And the tradition that once crushed her, it began to crack. Because one woman dared to say, "Enough. End."